Welcome back to Explain America. This is your host, Kyle Becker. The Democrats are in full damage control mode after another act of political violence, and we now know the identity of the shooter at a Dallas ICE facility, and we can confirm that this is another radical left-wing ideologue. But the Democrats, well, they want to blame Trump. They want to blame you and me for a supposed culture of insensitive rhetoric, etc., and without looking themselves in the mirror also. And Chuck Schumer, who is the Senate Minority Leader, well, he had another scapegoat for this latest act of political violence. But before we get into the story, please like, share, and comment at Explain America. We appreciate your support for common sense journalism. Now, there was an attack on an ICE facility in Dallas yesterday, and we have the identity of the shooter. And it won't be surprised that we can confirm it's another left-winger. Authorities identified the gunman in the sniper attack at a Dallas ICE facility as 29-year-old Joshua John. Joshua John, J-A-H-N, was found dead from a self-inflicted wound on the roof of a nearby immigration attorney's office. The FBI has classified the shooting of the ICE detention facility in Dallas, Texas as targeted violence. The unspent shell casings were found, and one of them had written anti-ICE on it. 3 detainees were shot and one of them died. Fortunately, no police officers were injured or killed in this attack. So a background check shows that Joshua John's now deleted Facebook profile features Antifa and communist imagery. Isn't that interesting, given that Donald Trump has recently classified Antifa as a terrorist organization? And contrary to the left-wing media's denials that Antifa is even real, I mean, we saw Kamala Harris and Chuck Todd both give this ignorant and deceptive statement about Antifa. Well, it looks like this person identified with Antifa and personally supported Antifa. And that's really how it works for this radical organization. It's an umbrella organization. So anyhow, Chuck Schumer, he came out and blamed Trump for a lack of more gun control. Seriously, let's take a look.
The violence is just terrible. Everybody, right, left, center, I don't care what your politics are, has to speak out strongly against it. But look, I think, and I don't know what's happened here, and I don't know about the guns, but we need better laws on guns. I mean, we got something done a few years ago, but it's just rampant. And we have to do more.
Schools,
I'm the author of the Brady Law, the assault weapons ban. It's become almost every day one of these things happen. And we can't just sit there and do nothing.
Well, the thing that is missing in this entire conversation is that there are cities in the United States with strong gun control laws already, and it doesn't reduce crime. It disarms law-abiding citizens and makes them more vulnerable to attack. In addition, Schumer is calling for an assault weapons ban. Almost no major shootings, we're talking about a few hundred every year, that result in homicide, are carried out with assault rifles. All rifles combined are just several hundred a year, according to FBI statistics. It's really handguns that are the predominant method for homicides and mass shootings. So in any event, Chuck Schumer is blaming something that has nothing to do with this. It's political ideology. It's the left-wing violence, and it's the third time in the last few weeks that this has happened. We had the Charlie Kirk assassination, and then we had shootings at an ABC 10 building in Sacramento. This in addition to bomb threats at a Fox News truck that was covering Charlie Kirk. That was also a scare. We've had a number of these incidents happen in the past few weeks. It's almost as if the depraved left-wing bat signal went up and all of these sleeper cells were activated and Antifa is going wild. But I think the Trump administration is on this case, and they are really seriously going to go after not only Antifa and other radical organizations, but their funders, because it is essentially a criminal conspiracy to commit violence against the American people. So we're going to see some accountability, hopefully, from the Justice Department. And the Trump administration recently came out and blasted Democrats for constantly demonizing law enforcement, calling for ICE to be demolished and comparing ICE officers to Nazis. Trump said that the continuing violence from radical left terrorists in the aftermath of Charlie Kirk's assassination must be stopped. ICE officers and other brave members of law enforcement are under grave threat. We have declared Antifa a terrorist organization. Will be signing an executive order this week to dismantle these domestic terrorism networks. And he called on Democrats to stop this rhetoric against ICE and America's law enforcement right now. And that would include folks like California Governor Gavin Newsom and the House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries.
Every single ICE agent who's engaged in this aggressive overreach, no matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes, will of course be identified. This is not the 1930s.
Secret police who are masked, who are intimidating, who are scaring people. These Gestapo-like tactics.
This is Gestapo-like behavior.
Donald Trump's modern-day Gestapo is scooping folks up off the streets.
When you compare the old films of the Gestapo grabbing people off the streets of Poland, it does look like a Gestapo operation.
You posted on social media that, quote, ICE is acting like a terrorist force.
ICE agents, they are coming and kidnapping and disappearing people on the streets of the United States.
But this terror campaign of having masked people rolling up in vans, but we also have to talk about the agents themselves that are carrying this out. If you have any decency, quit now. Because just doing what you were told has been the justification for some of the worst horrors and crimes against humanity.
Masked agents of the state in unmarked vehicles are terrorizing communities. They are disappearing people.
One has to assume they're hiding something, or they're hiding misbehavior, because otherwise, why would they be wearing masks and denying their identities?
If everything is legitimate and proper, why are you wearing masks to hide your face?
Not look like America. We are going to require them to show their faces. If you're not doing anything wrong, you shouldn't have anything to hide.
This is literally the Democrats' leadership, politics of demonization. This all comes down to election politics. Not only do they want these tens of millions of foreigners that were essentially imported under the Biden administration and previous administration to be legalized through amnesty, but they also use them to prop up their representation in Congress. There are several seats that would be erased if the U.S. Census stops counting foreign-born nationals and those who are not permanent residents in the United States, who are not documented, as the Democrats would say. But there is bad news for the Democratic Party, and that is that the Department of Homeland Security is seeing a surge of those who want to sign up for ICE. Tricia McLaughlin, Assistant DHS Secretary, announced that 151,000 Americans have applied to be ICE agents, even in the wake of mounting attacks on officers.
Out of our country, Dana, just in the last 250 days, we've arrested more than 600 known or suspected terrorists. Around 3,000 members of Tren de Aragua out of the interior of our country. And I think that these men and women who've applied, which there's more than 151,000 of them, which is just remarkable considering we were set out to recruit 10,000 when we've gotten 151,000 applications. They recognize that call and they want to defend our homeland and they want to make their communities safer.
So that is good news. We have people rallying to the cause in ICE and the Department of Homeland Security to protect Americans from senseless violence. And what do you think about this story? Do you think that Chuck Schumer and the Democrats have any legitimate case whatsoever, or are they just engaging in more reckless rhetoric and hyperbole? Please weigh in with your thoughts below. We appreciate it.